for joining us this morning. I'm meteorologist Jaqui Jeras. Jen Carfagno has the morning off.
And I'm Anna Rodriguez. Welcome to Wednesday. It's hump day, but some rain and snow are making for a midweek mess this morning in places like
Boston. As we head into the late morning and afternoon hours, even a little sunshine coming out with breezy conditions, but more wet weather is going to come right back later on tonight and into your Thursday as well. So we're keeping an eye on these messy wet conditions across parts of the Northeast. And there you can see on our water vapor loop that moisture moving very quickly off towards the east. And there you can see that fine line of that drier air that's going to be pulling in back behind it. But look back into the Midwest, our next storm right on its heels. So kind of getting relatively weak system, kind of quick systems, but a little bit of a 1-2 punch. Here's the latest radar picture. And there you can see the rain showers from Bangor down through Boston. Hartford starting to dry out already, in New York City beginning to dry out already as well, though the clouds are still going to be lingering a little bit. And keep in mind that the roadways are going to be a little bit on the wet side. Notice a little bit of that blue, especially with higher elevations. You're going to be encountering some of that, and we'll be seeing a little bit of another disturbance tracking through here again as we head into tonight and tomorrow. So here's where the next one is going to be pushing in, this upper disturbance riding along the jet stream and pushing off towards the east. We've got a fast-moving storm that's going to be developing. Notice the warm front associated with this, so a lot of wet weather can be expected again this time around. Colder air will begin to filter in on the backside of this, especially into parts of the Midwest. So as we take a look at the forecast for today, we'll see some widespread rain showers across the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys with sunshine developing across Monday. So this could really be a very significant winter ice event that could be prolonged and also bring power outages pretty widespread for days. Still some uncertainty as to where that exact freezing line is going to be setting up and the worst of the weather is, but everybody needs to pay close attention over the next couple of days as we fine-tune this forecast quite a bit. St. Louis, we're keeping an eye on you. We think this is going to be starting in as some freezing rain on your Friday, continuing into Friday night. We may get a little break in the action on Saturday during the daytime hours and then coming back on Saturday night and into your Sunday as well. So we're really looking at the time frame between late Thursday and into your Monday for this winter event, and it's probably going to come into two different pieces. So cold high pressure is going to be building in from the north, so another advancement of very chilly air. Our frontal boundary is going to stall out across parts of the south, and we'll see 1 or 2 waves of disturbances right along that front. Now this is going to allow warm and moist air to come in from the south. We think it's going to pool up here right along that frontal boundary. And that warm air then is going to override that colder air, leading to freezing rain or ice, right? So it's the kind that comes down as liquid precipitation and then ices on contact with inanimate objects like your car, like the roadway, like power lines, and that becomes the concern. So there you can see the purple is the zone of concern across parts of Oklahoma into Kansas, as well as into much of Missouri. Kansas City, St. Louis, both likely being impacted by this, and then it moves northward into your Monday. Places like Des Moines, into Milwaukee and Chicago, all could be impacted by this freezing rain. Pacific time, so this has definitely been a bit of an overachieving storm, and we even recorded thunder snow in Portland last night. The snowfall rates have been 1 to 2 inches on average, but when those thunder snows began, the snowfall rates really kicked up to 4 inches per hour. So that's really allowed it to pile up quite a bit. So Beaverton, 10.5 inches of snow. There you can see the downtown Portland at 9 inches, and Hazel Dell snowfall nearly a foot there. So just some incredible numbers. The snow will continue this morning along with some really strong gusty winds and then begin to taper off middle to the late part of the afternoon. Anna, because I know it's hump day, right? Halfway through the week, and we're already thinking about the weekend, right? And one of the biggest concerns that we have as we head towards the weekend is the ice storm that's likely to develop here across the nation's midsection, across the plains from Oklahoma through parts of Kansas into the lower Ohio River Valley. This could be a huge travel impact storm. It could be crippling and cause widespread power outages in some locations. So we're really going to have to focus on that purple line that you see there. We will see cooler temperatures across the northern tier of the country Saturday and Sunday both. Some rain into the southeast. And look at this, Anna Rittis, the west finally getting a little bit of a time. is flying by already. And here it is. We're coming up on half past the hour already. Thanks for staying with us on AMHQ early.
Plenty of places thawing out today, but from now until the weekend, we will be in for a little bit of everything from snow and ice to strong winds and even rain.
Yeah, Chicago. So let's go ahead and take a look at Chicago, for example. Chicago expecting to see some gusty conditions once again today. Temperatures should be warm enough that we're dealing with the rain in the afternoon hours, but overnight tonight, I think mostly after midnight, we'll start to see a little bit of freezing rain potentially mix in as temperatures dip down into the 20s. And then on Thursday, we'll be dealing with the snow. So yeah, you get in on all of the action there, Chicago. So we've got two different systems that we're watching. The first one in the northeast right now, that's going to be exiting probably by midday today. But the next one right here already moving through the Midwest and wading into the wings where you see all of that purple. So we've got snow coming down across parts of Minnesota as well as Wisconsin. And then we've got the rain showers that are hanging on in places like Boston on up towards Portland and into Bangor, Maine. This rain could be a bit of a problem with all the snowpack that we already have on the ground, clogging drains. So there may be some standing water. We're really going to have to keep a close eye in the northeast for the flood threat as warm temperatures continue to push in for this weekend. So low pressure, fast moving storm system will be developing and cold air will be advancing back behind it. The rain will be falling in the warmer sector here, and that cold front pushes into the northeast. So two quick hitting systems, not major storms across parts of the southeast, but we've got some cold air that's going to be riding in across the upper Midwest. So we'll start out on our hump day here and notice the chilly temperatures up north. We'll see some snow across parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and lower Michigan. The northeast dries out temporarily, and notice the rain showers in places like Chicago stretching down into Cincinnati. On Thursday, we'll watch rain move into parts of Tennessee as well as into Arkansas, New York. You'll see the cloudy conditions and temperatures in the 50s. Notice the rain across parts of Southern California as another weak disturbance comes into the West Coast, but finally going to dry things out a little bit more as we head into your Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this is the big concern, is all that purple that you see on the map here. Big concerns about an icing event that's going to take place across the Plains states. This will likely be impacting places like Wichita as well as Kansas City and into St. Louis. Chicago looks like you're going to miss out on that. Well, stranded in a snowstorm on the side of the road just in the next 24 hours. So still an incredible situation unfolding. That moisture tap just continuing.
And we've got